If it is Monday night, then it is the Wrestling Forum. Hello, friends. It is Ridiculously Over Anthony Florio sitting in tonight for the Hardcore Pipe Bomb, Derek Ferreira. He will be back with us next week. So I'm joined tonight, of course, by my colleagues, as always, the Cerebral Viper, Michael Fletcher, and the Phenom, Michael Bullock, as we're going to be reviewing tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw, which was live from the Bilo Center in Greenville, South Carolina, aka Horseman Country, for those of you old school wrestling fans. So, yes, that's right, Bullock, indeed. So, without further ado, we're going to get into it. Of course, we're going to have our Monday Night Raw review and our shout outs as always. And time limit will indeed be implemented here tonight. You know the routine on that by now. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, 3 minutes for matches, 5 minutes for the overall review. So without any further ado, let's get right on into it. First segment of the night, it was an in-ring segment with the Shield, and of course they would then not really get interrupted by Evolution, but they showed a shot of Evolution arriving in the limousine, and then a big old melee ensued back in the backstage area. So, with that said, I'm going to lead off as always. So, once again, hello, friends. Ridiculously Over Anthony Florio here for this all-new edition of the Wrestling Forum. Derek Ferreira, our regular host, not with us tonight. That's a lot on his plate, but he'll be back with us next week, and hopefully we'll have him back here as well for Friday night on Strictly Sports as we, I'll get into that at the end of our show as well. Set the table for you on that. But by default, I'd have to say this was the segment of the night here because, a great promo by the Shield, they said they want another shot at Evolution. They want another match with Evolution. I mean, we all remember what happened at Extreme Rules. They went over Evolution, and yeah, and something tells me after what we just saw at the end of our show tonight, this ain't going to be no straight up six-man tag. There's going to be a stipulation on this one. I'll let you in on what I think it's going to be when we get to the main event segment. But other than that, I mean, this was a very well done segment. I thought all three men were very good on the mic here, and then the beatdown I thought was really well done as well. So yeah, I mean, a lot of wrestling action here tonight. Not really many talking segments, but in terms of non-wrestling segments, I'm gonna have to give this one by default the segment of the night. So there's really nothing left for me to say about that. So with that said, I'm gonna toss it up now to the Phenom, Mike Bullock. It's all yours, Phenom.
Yes, yeah. I just had to mute my mic. Yes, hello, friends. It's the Phenom, Mike Bullock here for another night of the Wrestling Forum. Delighted to be here as always. Great to be with you guys here tonight. Yes, I mean, I thought was a good opening segment to start off the show, and yeah, I'm gonna have to say that this was the segment of the night. Of course, the Shield basically says they want another shot at Evolution. Of course, after what happened last week when they basically got beat down by Evolution, and then of course Roman Reigns was on the receiving end of Evolution's version of a triple power bomb. So yes, and all this, and they want that match at Payback, and then all of a sudden we get Evolution's limo arriving, and basically the Shield wasted no time. They were charging to the back, and then all of a sudden, once Triple H gets out, they attack Evolution, and all I can say is it was just basically a Donnybrook out there. A parade of agents and reps were basically trying to stop it, and all I can say is Evolution got the worst of that beatdown. I mean, this was basically like a non-wrestling version of a street fight here. I mean, that's what it basically resembled when we had that attack out there. I mean, yeah, so this was definitely a very good opening segment to Monday Night Raw, and by default, the segment of the night. So with that being said, let's get to our resident Viper, Mike Fletcher, for his thoughts.
Hey, what's up, guys? I know it's been a couple of weeks I've been gone. Glad to be back tonight. No, I actually harp with you guys. This was a great segment, a great way to start Monday Night Raw. And the thing is that, the way the Shield was, they were fired up, they were spitting mad after what happened. And Dean Ambrose said something that was very telling. You know, we've been beaten up before, and, we've come right back, and we've been always ready for a fight. Once again, Dean Ambrose goes over as one of the best talkers of the Shield. And then, of course, Roman Reigns, he is just the brute strength man. And let me tell you, the ladies love him. He is the most over guy of the Shield more than anything else. And let me tell you, I think even superfan Dee Dee Woodson said she believes in Roman Reigns. She doesn't believe in the Shield. Trust me, sweetheart. You're gonna come around sooner or later. You're gonna believe in the Shield. But at the end of the day, I think it was a great segment. Solid to start Monday Night Raw, no doubt about it. And I loved the brawl in the back. You know, it was a sneak attack, Shield style, and it turned into one heck of a brawl, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it, so there's really nothing more to say. Anthony, I give it to you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure the mic was unmuted there. So, all right. So with that said, let's get into our first match of the night. Just give me 1 second here. Okay. First up, first match of the night, we had Rob Van Dam versus Jack Swagger. Winner of the match, Rob Van Dam in 2 minutes. Oh yeah, okay. So with that said, oh man, it's the luck of the draw, as they always like to say, as you know, like in the days of the Royal Rumble, the old days, I mean, the good old days. But anyways, unfortunately, the good old days aren't going to be good to the Phenom Mike Waller because he has to lead off on this one. So
Oh, I don't envy you, Nomar. Do not envy you at all.
I don't envy him either.
I thought I told don't like leading off on the worst fight of the night. Ugh. Yeah, but unfortunately, it's the luck of the draw, as you like to say. And yes, Anthony Flora basically said it about this match to me right now. No, 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 no. Absolute dud. Worst fight of the night. I mean, basically over just like that. I mean, if you missed it, if you blinked, you missed it. That's how I basically would like to say it. And I mean, it was, and I'll be quite honest, it really wasn't that much of a match because just as the bell rang, well, let's just say we got a visit from the Exotic Express. Yes, Adam Rose comes out basically saying, "It's party time, boys!" And they're dancing all around the ring. Swagger, let's just say he wasn't a happy camper about it. Tries to get at him, but he falls back into that pile of partiers. And just as he turns around, gets a nice little kick from RVD, and then a 5-star frog splash. So, yeah, not a good way to start off the first match of the evening here. So, and yes, I will say this: pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, inexcusable, irresponsible, and borderline reprehensible. And in the immortal words of Daniel Bryan, no, 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 no. Done. Finished. Fletcher, go if you even want to talk about this piece of crap.
You know what? I'll say it like this. 2 weeks in a row now, RVD's had some very shisty victories more than anything else. But you know what? It's RVD. He'll take it. It's a win. A win is a win. Like we say in professional wrestling. Yeah, you know, it was the worst fight of the night, no doubt about it. There was quite a few better fights in this match than anything else. But the thing is this: they want to try to push Adam Rose over, and unfortunately, when he debuted, a lot of people thought it was a failure, that it didn't work. The fans really didn't pop as much as he did. And let me tell you, I love the gimmick, I love the character, I love the little party revelers because I've been watching NXT. So this is why I love it. However, the one thing I've always said and I've been very critical about is his wrestling ability. A lot of charisma, a lot of good action, very mediocre when it came to wrestling in the ring. And that's the one thing out of anything else that I'm the most worried about when it comes to Adam Rose. Now it looks like they're pushing him to make his debut at Payback in Chicago against Jack Swagger. Good luck with that. Because like I said, the fans will get on his side, but the fans can easily turn very quickly because that's a pro IWC crowd. Some of them like him, Some of them don't. Let's see what side he gets the night of payback, and hopefully it's the good side. Because if this fails, I think it might be future Endeavor or back to NXT for the youngster. Anthony, I give it to you.
Yeah, this was an absolute dud. This was the worst fight of the night by a country mile, no question about it. Although there was one that I thought was just as bad, but no, far and away, this was the worst fight of the night. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, this was horrible. I mean, the Adam Rose gimmick is really not getting over for me. I know Fletcher loves it, but Michael Bullock and I, we don't love it. Unfortunately, we're both lemons on this one. While Fletcher's a full-out rosebud, we all know that. So, yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to be a lemon, even though I don't really like lemons. I'm an orange guy when it comes to citrus fruits, baby. So, yeah. So, so in a way, call me an orange, not a lemon. So that's all I can say about that. So, yeah, and as far as Adam Rose's first match goes, if it is in Payback, yeah, do you really think that Chicago crowd's going to be so receptive of him? Hell no. You kidding me? They don't like campy comedy gimmicks, and I've been saying that ever since the vignettes of this guy started. I mean, I'm sure he's a good wrestler, I'm sure, but thing is, the gimmick is terrible. I call it 3MB 2.0. That's exactly what I think it is, and yeah. And I read something interesting on one of the Facebooks that I think it was Jason Hixenbaum responded in a comment saying that the bunny is JTG. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so not really impressed with that. So absolute dud, worst fight of the night. I'm not going to waste any more time on this. So with that said, gentlemen, let's just move on to the next match of the night, and it was a Divas match. It was Divas Champion. The first, actually, it's the first of not one but two Diva matches on this show tonight. We have Divas Champion Paige going one-on-one with Alicia Fox. Winner of the match in 3 minutes and 55 seconds. It is the 21-year-old beauty from Norwich, England, Paige. Divas title not on the line in this one. So with that said, Cerebral Viper, Michael Fletcher, you started off.
And I'll say this was actually a pleasant surprise. Probably one of the best Diva fights we've seen all year long. Congratulations to Paige and Alicia Fox. I thought this was a very good match. I thought this was solid. I thought, yes, it was short because it was 3 minutes and 55 seconds, but I thought at the end of the day, I thought the match actually delivered. And it told a great story. Alicia Fox came out looking dominant at the early onset of the fight. Paige actually some way somehow was able to hit the Paige Turner out of nowhere, gets the 1, 2, 3, and then Alicia Fox goes into such a rage. And I even got some breaking news for you, gentlemen. Alicia Fox quit. She's out. She left WWE. She actually quit it on the WWE app. It was confirmed by not just one person, but two people. I got a confirmation by Derek Ferreira and Matt Ward. Both said that she has quit. She's gone, fellas. And it's also been confirmed by the WWE Network as well. Alicia Fox got so upset over this loss tonight that she has taken her ball and gone home. So to me, 1.5 to 2 stars is my rating, and that's it. Anthony, it's yours.
Yes, that is indeed news to me. I mean, I'll get into that in just a moment, but as far as the match is concerned, this was far and away the better of the two Diva matches, no question about it. 1.5 to 2 stars indeed. Fletcher and I, we talked about this. We saw this fight, and yes, I mean, Alicia Fox, man, this was the most intense I've ever seen the girl. I mean, I got to say this was probably her best match. I mean, in the 4 to 5 years she's been with WWE, which I guess now she's not anymore. But I honestly thought they were on their way to a possible A Fox Page title feud. I really thought that's what they were on their way towards. But what a damn shame. I mean, after that incredible performance she put forth tonight, I mean, I thought she looked really good. So good, I'm going to consider that her personal best work. And what a way to have it. I mean, as your last match. I mean, go figure. But well, I guess now that she's gone, I mean, we certainly want to wish Alicia Fox the best in her future endeavors. And what's next for her? Is she gonna go to TNA? Is she gonna go to Ring of Honor? Is she gonna go to the Indies, or is she just gonna quit wrestling altogether? Maybe go into modeling, because she was a model beforehand. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. Jury's out to lunch. But now Paige needs a challenger. who's going to be Paige's next challenger. I thought it was going to be A Fox. Well, kiss that baby goodbye. So, yeah, but A Fox, incredible performance, but damn shame she's gone. But, it is what it is. So, but then again, she was a throwaway diva in a way. I mean, she hadn't been utilized all that much on TV, but they even tried to put her in a tag team with Oksana. That didn't really go over well. I mean, they had some moments here and there, but didn't really go over for me. So, yeah, so 1.5 to 2 stars. And I'll go as far as to call this a sleeper fight of the night. Sleeper fight of the night right here. So, all the best to you, A Fox. Hopefully, bigger and better things to come for you, whether it's in another wrestling promotion or if it's just out of wrestling altogether. So, with that said, Phenom, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll make it unanimous here. 1.5 to 2 stars, and yeah, this was better than what I expected. I mean, I thought this was going to be one of your typical ho hum diva fights, but no, this was way better than what I expected, and I do agree. This was to me one of the sleeper fights. This was the sleeper fight of the night, and this is probably the best I've seen Alicia Fox in some of her wrestling matches, and yeah, it's just a shame that she all of a sudden quits after losing the match, and all I can say is I just want to wish her the best in her future endeavors, and talk about a way to go out with your last match, and having one of your best matches in a while. So, could she be going to TNA? Could she be going to ROH? Could she be going to another wrestling company? Or could she not be wrestling again? We're just going to have to wait and find out. So yeah, 1.5 to 2 stars. And with that being said, Florio, let's move on.
I don't really want to move on to this next segment, but we're going to have to anyway. I mean, it's the heartbreak of the night right here. And I'm going to have to make a correction on my score sheet. Because what we're about to witness is the segment of the night right here. It was an in-ring segment with WWE World Heavyweight Champion ridiculously over Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan made the announcement that this Thursday he will be undergoing neck surgery, and he's going to be out for an indefinite amount of time. Oh, and damn it to hell, luck of the draw comes to me first. But then again, why not? I mean, this is my guy as well as Michael Bullock's guy, so. Yes, Bullock, I see you've already assumed the position there, so no, indeed. And yeah, this was the segment of the night, for me anyways. I got to make a correction here. The other segment was my second, but Daniel Bryan, I mean, made the announcement, undergoing neck surgery. He's going to be out for a few weeks, and this guy catch a break. I mean, seriously. I mean, he wins the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 30, the greatest feel-good moment in WrestleMania history, no question about that. Even better than, I said it before, even better than Rey Mysterio and Chris Benoit's feel-good moments from 20 and 22, respectively. And then, just a few days later, he marries a beautiful Brie Bella, smoking hot girl. We all know that. Then his father dies, and now he has to go under the knife. Wow. You have the two greatest moments of your life, then you lose your daddy, and now undergoing surgery. Damn it to hell. I mean, for a moment, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was worried. I thought he was gonna pull an Edge from 3 years ago and announce his retirement. If that had happened, oh boy, I would have gone off. I would have gone the most ridiculously over you ever saw me. But here's the thing. He didn't necessarily say he was going to retire. He said he was going to fight back from it. Let's hope so. I mean, after everything the man's been through since SummerSlam to now, I mean, the journey he's been through, to finally get his long overdue moment in the sun on the grandest stage of all WrestleMania. Yeah. I just hope that he comes out of it. We're thinking of you, champ, and we hope you come out of this on behalf of the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement, which, as you know, I'm the president of, and Michael Bullock is the vice president of. So we're going to yes to you, man, and we're going to hope that at the end of this, you get through it, and then you can come back and Because there was a rumor that it was going to be him and Kane at Payback in a Buried Alive match. That's really up in the air. And now with the severity of the injury, could there be a tournament, guys? Could we have our first championship tournament in quite some time since the Deadly Game at Survivor Series in '98? A lot of questions, a lot of scenarios, so little time to discuss them. A segment of the night anyways. I feel bad for him. I just hope he comes out of this and they don't take the titles off him, but with our luck, he's probably going to lose the titles. So really nothing left for me to say here except Phenom, Vice President of the Yes Movement, Rhode Island chapter. It's yours.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, as the Vice President of the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement, all I can say is I was so heartbroken when I heard that that Daniel Bryan's gonna have to go under the knife for neck surgery. And all I can say is, I mean, everybody in the crowd was basically saying no, 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 no. But I mean, the guy, he won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He gets married to Brie Bella, and then all this stuff happens. I think that what I would have to say is I think the problems with his neck have to be from that beatdown that he got from Kane when he basically got tombstone 3 times. I mean, he also kept saying that he was in a neck brace, but he was determined to basically beat Kane, which of course he did at Extreme Rules, but it came with a price, and unfortunately it came at a price for him that now he's going to have to need neck surgery on Thursday, and he's not even happy about it. But he knows that 3 people are probably happy about it. Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, and Kane. They probably think that that his career is over, but all of us say, no, his career ain't over. We were all hoping that we were going to get Kane and Daniel Bryan at Payback. But now that looks up in the air, and now the question is, what's going to happen with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship? What's going to happen with that? If Daniel Bryan's going to be out for a long time. All I can say is to you, Daniel Bryan, as the Vice President of the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement, get better quickly, my friend. And Anthony Fora basically said, and we're going to start doing it. Yes, 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 yes. Nothing else for me to say, except Fletcher, it's yours.
Yeah, it's just a tough situation, and my thoughts and prayers goes out to Daniel Bryan, and I hope for nothing but a speedy recovery. It sucks. It doesn't matter. But how you slice it, how you think about it. At the end of the day, it's a bad situation. Daniel Bryan, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, he's been going through so much after, getting an opportunity. After he was announced as the #1 contender back in July, to win the belt at SummerSlam, lose it the same night, win it again 1 month later, only to get stripped of it 1 month the next night because of referee technicality, just for him to win 2 fights in 1 night at WrestleMania to become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And then you guys pretty much said everything. Then getting married, losing his father, and now the neck injury, and now who knows how long he's going to be out. And the one thing I got scared about, and even me and Anthony were talking about it, is that Daniel Bryan's going to be forced to drop the belt. We were thinking he was going to have to surrender the belt. But there has been one instance in the entire WWE's history where someone suffered an injury and was able to keep the belt during their injury leave of absence, and that was Trish Stratus. Hopefully he'll be the first male to do it, but we'll have to wait and see. There's nothing more to say. Segment of the night, no doubt about it. Anthony, it's yours.
All right. There's nothing left to say indeed. Let's just move on to our next segment. And great way to follow that up. We had ourselves a six-man tag team match, return match from Friday Night SmackDown. It was the Wyatt family going up against WWE Tag Team Champions, the Uso Brothers, and John Cena. Winners of the match in 9 minutes and 55 seconds, John Cena and the Uso Brothers. So with that said, Phenom, luck of the draw was nicer to you this time. You get to lead off on this one, so it's all yours.
All right, well, I had to lead off on the worst fight of the night before. Well, I'm gonna have to say I'm leaning off on the best fight of the night here. All I can say is this is I'm gonna say it's probably about a 2.5 to maybe 3-star bout, if I'm gonna be quite honest. I mean, yeah, it was about like you said, about 9.5 minutes. I mean, I would have loved to see a little more from it, if I'm gonna be quite honest here, but we had some great action here, some good back and forth, and yeah, I mean, of course we saw the high flying action from the Usos, and then of course we saw the super kicks from the Uso brothers that basically saved the match, and then basically John Cena hits the attitude adjustment on Eric Rowan, and 1, 2, 3, match is over. So nice win for the Usos and John Cena after what happened on Friday night when they lost the Wyatt family, and somehow I get this feeling that I think we're gonna get another. I mean, well, first off, all I gotta say is you're not gonna hear the last of the Wyatts tonight. I know they did cut a little promo near the end of the show, and so all I can say is I think this is eventually going to lead to another matchup between John Cena and and Bray Wyatt at Payback, and from what I heard in that promo, I think this is going to be a last man standing match, if I'm going to be quite honest. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it could be just another simple singles match between them. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Of course, John Cena's going to answer to Bray Wyatt this upcoming Friday night on SmackDown. So 2.5 to 3 stars is my rating on the match and the fight of the night for me. So with that being said, Fletcher, let's move on to you.
Yeah. 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star is my rating for this fight. This was a damn good match. Fight of the night, no doubt about it. I love the psychology. I love the story. I mean, the Uso brothers and the Wyatt family and John Cena with Bray Wyatt. This is just, there's a makings of 2 matches. I could see a tag team title fight in one, and then Cena and Wyatt, and then Bray Wyatt and John Cena. And yes, Mike Borlick, you didn't hear wrong. It is going to be last man standing. Cena just has to confirm it, and it's on. And I think he will. I think Cena will confirm it, and then we'll go from there. So, I mean, this is going to be a damn good match. Just no doubt about it. I'm happy with the outcome. I'm happy with the result of the fight. I thought this was a great match. 2.5 to 2 3/4. Yeah, I'll even say 3 stars as well. I mean, it's definitely in that realm. Definitely fight of the night. Anthony, it's yours.
Yes, fight of the night indeed. 2.5 to 3 stars is the correct rating for this match. I mean, it was. I think it was almost the same caliber as we saw on the SmackDown match, but I thought it was a very good match. I mean, some great hot action down the stretch. I mean, the finishing sequence was what really made this fight awesome. That sequence where you saw both Usos dive over the top rope and taking out both members of the Wyatts, and then Cena with the AA on Eric Rowan for the 3. And yeah, very good match. I mean, because of the quality of all the matches here, this is no doubt by default the fight of the night, no question about it. 2.5 to 3 stars, yes. And we saw the promo. Michael Bowles alluded to it. There was a little vignette with the Wyatts and saying that Bray Wyatt wanted to challenge John Cena to a last man standing match at Payback. If that is indeed the case, which I think it's going to be, that just saved the pay-per-view because we don't know the story. What's up with Daniel Bryan? We don't know what's going to happen with that. Is he going to be able to recover in time? Are they still going to have his match with Payback? I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, I know it's very unlikely at this point, but we'll see. Anyways, very good match here, and wow, just imagine it. Bray Wyatt, John Cena, last man standing in Chicago at Payback. Good Lord, it's got all the makings right there. It really does. And you couple that along with the Shield and Evolution 6-man tag, which I'll get to what I think that fight's going to be and what I'm hoping it will be when we get there. But for right now, this was the fight of the night, 2.5 to 3, and Cena will answer Bray Wyatt Friday night on SmackDown. We'll already know what he's going to say tomorrow night, because don't forget, spoilers come out around this time tomorrow night, if not a little earlier. So there's really nothing left for me to say about that. So let's just move on to our next match on the show here, which was let me pull it up here. Oh, it was another in-ring segment. It was an in-ring segment with Evolution, interrupted by the Shield. So with that said, luck of the draw goes to Michael Fletcher. He gets to lead up on this one. So your thoughts on this, Fletcher?
This was a solid promo. I mean, this started out as Evolution pretty much talking about what happened earlier in the night. He's saying that, they'll get their comeuppance, and that they issued the challenge for a 6-man tag team fight to go down at Payback in Chicago. And I guess the Shield gave them their answer, jumped them from behind. Yes is the answer to that. So it's on, boys. We're gonna get this one more time. And I'll say this: if it's anything like the showdown at the Meadowlands, WWE Universe, get ready for a break-in. Like this could be the fight of the night again. This could be the fight of the night again. And because we said that fight was damn near 5-star classic, it was about 4 stars. Who knows? If they really go for it and really go for the gusto, and you know what I mean about the gusto, Anthony. We were talking about Chicago Street Fight. We've heard rumors about maybe war games and whatnot. If they do a fight with a special stipulation, this could be the fight of the year. I'm saying it right now. This could be the WWE's fight of the year. And this could really save, well, they need something to save Payback. It's in Chicago. It's in the Allstate Arena, aka the Rosemont Horizon, so you already know the crowd's gonna be hyped. It's just they need to put a good card together. We'll wait and see from there. But I definitely enjoyed it. I loved it. One of my favorite segments of the night. Anthony, it's yours.
Yes, indeed, Fletcher. This was another one of the segments of the night. I mean, so tough. I mean, you have to go with the Daniel Bryan segment for segment of the night only because of the circumstances. But this was another damn good segment here. I mean, Evolution. I mean, great heel promos here. Triple H pretty much took the majority of it, which was great. Loving that heel promo of his. I mean, he's been such a great heel ever since he turned at SummerSlam last year. And yeah, Shield and Evolution go at it yet again, another brawl. And yeah, Shield and Evolution at Payback, and just imagine it, folks. I mean, if we do indeed end up getting Bray Wyatt and John Cena last man standing, that's one thing. But if you get the Shield and Evolution and say, oh, I don't know, what I think it will be, and I hope it will be, Chicago Street Fight in Chicago, oh God, that's a match of the year candidate waiting to happen. I mean, as of right now, my top 3 match of the year candidates are as follows, in no particular order. Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt from the Royal Rumble, the Elimination Chamber match from Elimination Chamber, and of course, Daniel Bryan and Triple H from WrestleMania. Those are my 3 matches of the year at this point. So, but if this fight ends up being a 5-star classic, who knows? This Payback match, if it is indeed Chicago Street Fight, could definitely be the fight of the year for this point. But we won't know that until we get the match officially made and how it plays out on June 1st in Chicago. So there's no question about it. So another great segment here. Everybody came off well here. Great promo work. Nice beat, nice brawl angle indeed. Cannot wait to see what they do at Payback. The War Games match, Fletch, has been rumored for the Battleground pay-per-view in July. Because apparently Derek said that the St. Pete Times Forum in Tampa apparently has enough room to put together a War Games bout. So I hope he's right on that. They bring back the War Games. Look out. That's a mark out moment waiting. That's a mark out moment waiting to happen. Because you know how much we love the War Games match. I have the War Games DVD that came out last year. That Best of War Games DVD set. Hell, you can watch all the War Games matches on the WWE Network for crying out loud. So, and I even watched one of the craziest matches last night, an old school style match on the WWE Network last night. I'll tell you guys about it behind the scenes, but damn it to hell, I mean, we got ourselves some great action coming up. Chicago Street Fight maybe here, War Games possibly at Battleground. Look out. Match of the Year candidates are waiting to happen. Another segment of the night. Great work here. So nothing left to say here except Phenom, it's yours.
Yeah, I agree. This was a good segment here by Evolution. Basically, they were saying they were, let's just say they were not too happy. I mean, Randy Orton basically said that he basically wanted to kick some ass right now. And Triple H, of course, basically said that he was the one created the Shield and that they needed to put the Hounds of Justice to sleep. And they said that the Shield proved how good they were at Extreme Rules. He said they were good, but he protected them and fed the roster to them, but maybe he was wrong about them in their attempt at an ambush. And they said that if the Shield wants a rematch at Payback, then so be it. They will get a rematch. And basically said that they will take them apart one by one. Dean Ambrose will be humbled. They will pull Seth Rollins' wings off, and then they'll basically take out Roman Reigns and said Reigns will fail to adapt and payback he will perish. And then all of a sudden, the Shield arrives, and once again, they basically kicked the crap out of Evolution. And Batista was pissed off and says he had enough of them and he wanted a one-on-one match with Roman Reigns, and so basically we get a match between them later on in the night, which we will talk about. So, oh boy, Shield versus Evolution at Payback. If it does turn out to be a Chicago Street Fight, you're looking at a 5-star classic here, and definitely the fight of the night. So we'll have to wait and see on that. So, a good segment here. So with that being said, Florio, let's just move on.
And move on we shall. We're going to move on to the next segment of the night, which was, oh boy, a diva match. It was Natalya versus Nikki Bella, winner of the match. Nikki Bella, I don't have the time of the fall. It wasn't included on my notes here, but oh boy, I have to lead off on this one. Absolute dud. This was the second worst fight of the night. I mean, the RVD and Swagger fight, only because it was over like that. That's why that was the worst fight of the night, but this was terrible. This was awful. They played it off a total divas angle. And I gotta share a quote here from one of our favorite writers, Jason Powell, from the ProWrestling.net site. Fantastic site. I strongly recommend you check it out. Here's how this is what he thought of the match. He said it was awful. He said Natalya is mad because Nikki didn't like her painting. What the hell are the fans supposed to do with this? Do you cheer Nikki for having good taste? Do you cheer for Natalya because she's overly sensitive about her poor painting skills? No. You turn the channel and swear off Total Divas while doing so. Yeah. Exactly. That's a good point. I mean, and then as bad as that was, you got the other divas. You got Eva Marie, the Funkadactyls, and Brie Bella out there with friggin' scorecards. I thought for a minute there it was going to be a friggin' dance-off between friggin' Layla and Emma. That's what I thought it was going to be. But thankfully that was not the case. But I thought it was overly ridiculous. This was absolutely brutal. I mean, but then again, I would take this awful match than another god-awful campy comedy skit with the four-man dud, Los Matadores and El Torito any day of the week. So, or another one of those god-awful Adam Rose segments. But, yeah. But anyways, it was not good. This was terrible. This was the second worst fight of the night. If RVD and Swagger hadn't stunk up the joint so damn bad, I would have called this the worst fight of the night. But this was the second worst fight of the night. Absolute dud. Pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, blah, blah, blah. You know the routine. So, and Fletcher brought up a good point. Could this be the start of a possible heel turn for Natalya? if that's the case, maybe that could do wonders for her. You never know. Because she was very good as a heel, as you know. She debuted as a heel back then, and she was rather good. You remember a few years ago after WrestleMania 24, they teamed her up with Victoria, and they had a nice little run. So we'll see what happens. If they turn her heel, I think it's a good move. But having her go under to a Bella again, oh, don't even get me started. You already know how it was a couple of years ago when they did that to her, poor girl. So enough said on that. Unfortunately, I got to move it on to you, Phenom. It's yours.
Yeah, this was an absolute dud. Second worst fight of the night. Another pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, inexcusable, irresponsible, and borderline reprehensible match, and definitely was your typical old home diva fight. So, not going to get into any further details on it. I can basically give craps about this. So with that being said, Fletcher, it's yours. I'm done. I'm finished with this nonsense.
I'm just gonna make it short, sweet. Dud. Nobody really gave two craps about this fight. Anthony, I pass it back to you.
All right. Had to move down on my notes there. So, yep. Let's just move on to our next match of the night, which was a non-title match. It was the brand new United States Heavyweight Champion Sheamus one-on-one with Curtis Axel. Winner of the match was Sheamus in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So with that said, I believe we lead it off with Michael Bullock. It's yours.
All right. Yeah, unfortunately, this was, if I hate to say it, this was pretty much a meh fight, if I'm going to be quite honest here. I mean, this was way too short for my liking, but because there was a little bit of alright action in this match, I don't know if I'm going to be real generous here. I'm going to probably say maybe only 1 star on the match. I'm just being real generous here when it comes to this. I mean, I could have gone lower and maybe say half a star, but because there was a little bit of alright action, I'm only going to give it 1 star. So, yeah, I got nothing else to say except let's move on to you, Fletch.
Well, I'll give it between half to 3/4 of a star. I mean, it was okay. It was very short, quick, straight to the point. Submission victory for Sheamus. So, Anthony, I give it to you.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree more with Bullock's rating. 1 star. There was some okay action. I mean, not really all that good. It was another one of the worst fights of the night. I probably would say third worst fight of the night, to be quite honest. So let's just move on. And immediately following that match, Curtis Axel's tag team partner, Ryback, he issued a challenge to Sheamus, and apparently we got ourselves an impromptu match here with Sheamus versus Ryback. Winner of the fall, Sheamus in 12 minutes even. So with that said, Michael Fletcher, you get the lead off on this one.
In a way, better. This was the better fight of the two. More enjoyable. I could give this about 2 stars. But the thing is, it's just to make Sheamus look strong as Intercontinental Champion, as the United States Champion. I think it was good, not great. I liked it. Maybe I'll even say 2.25 stars. I thought it was a really good fight, a lot better, perfect time. Anthony, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say another 1.5 to 2 on this one here. It was definitely the better of the two matches here. Um, I mean, it's not very often we say that Ryback had a good match, but leave it to Sheamus, who was a proven worker, as we all know. His body of work that speaks for itself. I mean, this is his second reign as the United States Heavyweight Champion. Of course, he's a former World Heavyweight and WWE Champion, a former King of the Ring, and a Royal Rumble match winner. So he's had himself a very decorated career in his almost 5 years in WWE since he debuted in 2009, which included that infamous win against John Cena, which was one of the biggest upsets in WWE history at the TLC event, but the inaugural TLC event, I should say. But anyways, getting back to this, I mean, I don't think he's going to be turning heel anytime soon. I mean, I know the hot rumor going right now is that that apparently the fans they want to see him as a heel, and there's even a rumor saying that he could end up being the newest member of Evolution. He could end up being the replacement for Dave Batista, because Dave Batista is going to be planning on taking some time off, probably after the Payback review, to do the Hollywood thing, because that's what he's because he's got a new movie coming out sometime this summer. So we'll have to wait and see on how that goes. But for right now, I think Sheamus is going to be a baby face a little while longer. I don't know who his next U.S. title program could be against. It could be against Ryback. It could be against Curtis Axel. Or maybe, who knows, maybe we could end up seeing a three-way at the Payback pay-per-view. You never know. But you heard it here first. I do expect Sheamus to defend the United States Heavyweight Championship at Payback. I just don't know who his opponent's going to be. So really nothing left to say here except 1.5 to 2 stars. Solid match, but not overly spectacular. So with that said, we'll look at yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 1.5 stars. I mean, this was once again. I mean, it was an all right match. Nothing amazing, nothing overly special about it, and I mean, this was basically better than the matchup against Curtis Axel. And I mean, it's not too often that we say Ryback has a good match, but yeah, in this case, he did have a good match with Sheamus. So basically, you guys pretty much touched on everything, and you guys forgot to mention a little something. Tomorrow night on the WWE Network on WWE Main Event, Sheamus, the United States Champion, is going to be going up against the newest Paul Heyman guy, Cesaro. Yeah, so you can't forget about that. So, and yes, unfortunately, with Paul Heyman being there, I wouldn't be surprised if you get another one of those things that I'm getting sick and tired of. My client, Brock Lesnar, conquered the streak. And all I can say about that, it's basically getting tired. It's basically at the point of go away. And I almost basically want to pull a Chris Jericho and basically say, would you please shut the hell up, Paul Heyman, with it? We get it. We know client conquer the streak. I mean, do we have to listen to this a gazillion times from you? We get it. I mean, do you really think we're that stupid, Paul Heyman? I'm going to be quite honest with you. You're the one that's stupid. So, in my opinion, Paul Heyman, just shut the hell up with your statement on it. So, yeah, that's pretty much my little mini rant of the night. So, with that being said, let's just move on.
Hater. We got a hater in the house. That's all there is to it. I mean, you still bitter about your boy losing that WrestleMania bullet? But then again, I don't blame you. I mean, because you've been an Undertaker mark all your life, and I know how badly you wanted to see him go 22-0. We all did. We all thought he was going to, but what happened? They pulled the rug out from under us, and that's another reason why WrestleMania this year was a perfect 10.
Oh no, I mean, I don't mind him saying it once. I'm just saying, with him basically saying it a gazillion times, it's basically becoming annoying.
I agree with you. It's definitely at the point of go away. It's tired. It's played out. I understand that. So, but yeah, just trying to be funny. That's how I'm trying to be here. So, there's really nothing left for me to say here except let's just move on to our next segment here. Getting back to business here. Another in-ring segment. We are joined by the billion-dollar princess herself, Stephanie McMahon, coming out to cut a promo, and this was basically her response to Daniel Bryan's news about the neck surgery. She cut her promo, and then she was asking for Daniel Bryan to come out. Honestly, what I thought was going to happen was I thought she was going to have him come out and forfeit the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That did not happen because, well, the devil's favorite demon struck again. There's Kane dragging a defenseless, beat-up, shirt-ripped Daniel Bryan down the ramp, and then we get the referees and the EMTs. They put him on the stretcher. Bree comes out, and they wheel him to the back. They put him in the ambulance, and then there's a moment where Brie Bella is that angry little stare at Stephanie McMahon and just shoves her and says, "Stays away." Lame. That's lame, baby girl. That's lame. I was expecting what I wanted, honestly. If you were gonna really, I was honestly expecting a slap in the face. That would have been definitive. If she had done that, I would have been much happier with that. But she just shoved her and said, "Stay away." I'm sorry, that's lame. But as far as Stephanie's promo goes, I thought it was another solid segment here. This is another one of the segments of the night here, absolutely. I enjoyed her segment here. I enjoyed her mic work here. Daniel Bryan and Kane not over yet. Is there even going to be a match at Payback now with the neck surgery? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. But It would be a damn shame if we had to have a pay-per-view, let alone a payback in the most rabid of IWC crowds. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Daniel Bryan has to miss the payback pay-per-view, that crowd in Chicago is gonna be pissed. There is no question about that because you know how that Chicago crowd is. And there was even something we had, I noticed your little Raw chat earlier, the Raw chat on the Facebook, with all of our crew here. And Derek made a good point. If Daniel Bryan has to miss the pay-per-view, he's hoping that they bring back the best in the world, CM Punk. I've heard rumors about that. Could we see the best in the world? But then again, we thought we were going to see him on March 3rd on Monday Night Raw, just before the final month before WrestleMania. What happened? He wasn't there. He never came in. So read into that what you will. But I've heard rumors that they're trying to get him for this one. He shows up. Look out. Look out. Look out below. You have to pop at Money in the Bank 2011 and all these other pay-per-views over the last couple of years or something. That's nothing. CM Punk shows up in Chicago at Payback. It's going to be maybe the biggest pop of all time. Even bigger than the Daniel Bryan pop. That's all I can say about that. So read into that what you will. I don't know what's going to happen, but a solid promo from Stephanie. Very well done. So, excuse me. What's next? I don't know. I hope Daniel Bryan will be ready in time, but I don't think he's going to be. So, could there be a tournament? But then again, no ruling was made, so I don't know. It's just a lot to digest. So, with that said, Phenom, it's yours.
Yeah, this was a good segment here by Stephanie McMahon. I mean, basically, he said that Daniel Bryan told a story about overcoming the odds and winning the title, and that he did all those things, but at the end of the day, and he had to have neck surgery. And she basically said all that proves is that Daniel Bryan is not an A-plus player. And it's basically what she's been saying all along. And that his body couldn't keep up with it. His heart wants to do it. He has the heart of a champion, but cannot pull through for the fans. Now, that I totally disagree with her on that. Daniel Bryan is an A-plus player. I believe in that. And Anthony Florio, who is the president of the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement, believes in that as well. Yes, 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 yes. And he and I all have said that he is indeed an A-plus player. So, yeah, so he and I wholeheartedly disagree with you, Stephanie McMahon, on that, that he's not an A-plus player. And then she basically tells Daniel Bryan that she wants him to come out and have a talk face-to-face, and then all of a sudden Kane's pyro goes off, and he basically drags Daniel Bryan out to the ramp, showing that he's gotten beat up by him, and basically the EMTs come out with a stretcher, and Stephanie makes her way up to the ramp and asks if he's conscious, and then Brie Bella comes out as well, and Stephanie basically tells him to be careful because he is having neck surgery, and Stephanie basically apologized to Daniel Bryan for what Kane did, but Brie Bella, who was basically so pissed off, tells Stephanie that she ain't buying that at all. So, yeah, I mean, we were all hoping that maybe Daniel Bryan would basically be better, hopefully in time for Payback, but I don't think that's going to happen now. Unfortunately. So, all I can say is, I'll say it again, best of luck to Daniel Bryan, and hopefully we'll see you back soon, Mr. Yes Man. So, good segment by Stephanie McMahon. So, with that being said, Fletcher, it's yours.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This was a strong segment. Stephanie comes out, and me and Anthony were talking about it. We were thinking that she was going to tell Daniel to cough the belt up. She didn't. And we saw what happened. Kane brought Daniel Bryan out. He was cut. Even me and Derek Guerrero talked about it. He had a cut over the forehead, right on this side of the, like a little bit above the eye, but it was a small graze. It's easy to tell. I saw the camera angle, and you could see some redness. It looked like there was some blood there. It was right here, guys. So, it was solid. I liked it. But Anthony said this should have been a slap. Anthony, I disagree. I think if Brie would have slapped Daniel, if Brie would have slapped Stephanie McMahon, I think that would have gone a little too far to push her to yell at her to get away. But did you see the look on Stephanie McMahon's face when she left? If looks could kill, she would have absolutely destroyed Little Brie Bella. She would have ripped her head off and thrown it to the wolves. Brie, watch your back now. You just made the biggest mistake of your life. It just angered the $1 billion queen, the principal owner of World Wrestling Entertainment, is pissed. May God have mercy on your soul. Anthony, it's yours.
Man, oh man, how do I follow that? Well, I'm just going to have to try my best here. Next match here, it was, let me pull it up here. It was Fandango with the beautiful Brit from Miami, Florida, Michael Fletcher's all-time favorite diva, Layla, going up against Mr. Show-Off, Dolph Ziggler. Winner of the match in 4 minutes and 45 seconds, it was the Show-Off, Dolph Ziggler, who comes away with the win. And I'm trying to think, who led off on the last one? I believe it was. Oh yeah, I think I led off on that last segment. So with that said, Michael Bullock, your thoughts on the Ziggler and Fandango match? Ziggler wins in 4:45.
Again, this was basically too short for my liking. But once again, I'll say it. There was a little bit of all right action here when it comes to this. So I'm gonna probably say 1.5 stars if I'm gonna be quite honest here. But I mean, Dolph Ziggler did win the match, but after the match, basically Fandango basically grabbed the microphone and says that he may have lost the match, but he is a winner because no woman makes him feel the way he feels. Dolph may have won, but Layla won something much more valuable, his heart. Fandango basically says he loves her, and let's just say, they do the two-tongue tango, if I'm going to be quite honest here. I mean, they were basically making out when it comes to that. And I'm like, oh my goodness, yeah, thanks a lot, Florio. That's the last thing I wanted to see right there. Oh man, this is something that was pulled up. He says, this is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe the streaks like this. You take the red pill, and there's that quote again, and my client Brock Lesnar conquered the streak. Let's just say that basically resembles from that movie, of course, of the Matrix. Of course, basically. Oh yeah, and of course that was courtesy of one of our super fans, Dee Whitson. So yeah, getting back to it, 1.5 stars basically is going to be my rating on the match. I mean, all I can say is about that kiss that they made. I mean, I basically, oh my goodness, that was just, I didn't know what to say. So with that being said, it's yours. I don't know what I'm going to say after seeing that.
I don't know. I don't know what to say either. I mean, get a room, get a life. This is not soap opera. This is WWE. This is supposed to be wrestling. And for me, Fandango, you son of a you know what? You're a lucky son of a gun to have that beautiful, sexy thing, that British beauty from Miami, Florida, and you get to do that. Oof. Somewhere in Vancouver right now, somebody's either throwing a TV, throwing a laptop, or because word's probably getting leaked back that this makeout session went down tonight. And when she finds out, oh my lord, Twitter's gonna be exploding tonight, folks. But I mean, the fight was actually better than expected. Yes, it was short, but it was still good. I thought it was a solid fight. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it about maybe, 1.5 stars is my rating for the fight. And as far as that backstate about all that stuff that Fandango said about him having the heart and everything else, I was being smooth, romantic. I was like, that's pretty cool. I respect that. Then the kiss, and Anthony knows how much I love Layla. He knows how much I love Layla. To me, that kiss was a stick the knife and just twist it a little deeper. Why don't you? Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, WWE. Ugh. Florio, it's yours.
Yes, for those of you who don't know, Michael Fletcher has been a fan of Layla L since day one. Since she was in the Diva Search back in 2006, a Diva Search she went on to win, and then had a very memorable segment, initiation segment at SummerSlam 2006, which I know is still etched in his mind. But anyways, let's get into this. Solid match. I mean, you gotta admit the match was really solid. I mean, for an almost 5 minute match, I mean, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. I know I'm probably being generous here, but I'm giving it 2 stars because I thought it was some solid in-ring action. Two young studs here going at it, both who deserve better, especially Dolph Ziggler. Let's not kid ourselves, but it is what it is. But anyways, 2 star match. I mean, the love segment, yes, this is something you would see a la Days of Our Lives, a la Young and the Restless, a la Bold and the Beautiful, All My Children. Hell, I'll even go back to old school days, like The Search for Tomorrow and Ryan Tope and friggin' what else was there? Those are the two that really stand out for me, Search for Tomorrow and Ryan Tope. I mean, those are old school soaps from back in the 70s, and it used to be on CBS. And then, of course, how about hell, I'll even throw in one of my old school favorites, Another World, back in NBC. That's exactly what this was. I mean, you didn't see anything like this on a soap that Fletcher and I actually liked way back when, a little show called Passions that was on NBC, a show that he and I still wish was on to this day. And if it was, we'd be having a lot more fun, no question about it. But anyways, the love segment, I mean, that was yeah, okay. That was basically bad acting. It was basically a D-list segment to me. So that's all I can say. It was D-list to me. So it was really it was hot, but who cares? That's all I was saying. Hot, but who cares? So two stars for the bout, no question about that. So I believe we've all had our turn here. So with that said, let's move on to our next matchup here on this jam-packed edition of the Wrestling Forum. We had ourselves, looky here. We had ourselves a surprise appearance by WWE Hall of Famer of the class of 2011, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Mr. Ho, indeed. He was interrupted by the ravishing Russian, the 5-star beauty known as Lana, along with the Brute, Rusev. They come out. They have a segment, and then Big E comes in and gets involved. So with that said, Michael Fletcher, you started off, Cerebral Viper.
All right. Here's my thing. Here's the thinking, and here's my logic. When it started out, Hacksaw Jim Duggan comes out, and he starts, with this ho, and then he starts cheering about the USA and everything else. And then he kind of fumbles his lines going away, talking about how talking about the Legends house on the WWE Network and this and that. All right, that's fine. I think we all get the Hacksaw. And then the ravishing Russian Lana shows up. And this is where, okay, I sit back and everything else. And she talks about how America used to be so strong and so amazing and this and that. And that now Russia has surpassed the USA in being the #1 economy in the world. Newsflash, baby girl. USA is actually still #1. However, they're being chased by China, not Russia. Get your facts straight before the next time you try to challenge us. But then she talks about her how her president is better than ours, and she means Putin, Vladimir Putin. Oh yeah, that's gonna stir the hornet's nest. I mean, I will say this: he does a good thing. She brings out Rusev. You know, at one time was the Bulgarian brute. Now he actually is living in Russia. So he comes out. She says, "Beg for mercy." He Hacksaw said, "Not a chance." Rusev grabs the 2x4, splits the thing in two. Pretty impressive, no doubt about it. She tells him to crush. He's about to go for the kill. You know what? Three is good, but I like five. Here comes out Big E Langston, and you know what? An Alexander Rusev versus Big E Langston at Payback. I like that. I'll do it. Let's do it. Get two big men. Reinforce that ring. Let the irresistible force and the immovable object get it on. Gorilla Monsoon, wherever you are in heaven, man, this one's for you, man. This is a Michael Fletcher be a man fight, and it could go down at Payback. I like it. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, solid segment here. Hacksaw put over the Legends House. Great to see Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I mean, Hall of Famer, class of 2011, the winner of the very first Royal Rumble match, a former King at one time, and a former WCW United States Heavyweight Champion. So, solid career, even though he didn't win any championships in WWE except for the crown and the very first Rumble match on that USA Network special 26 years ago. But, anyways, getting to this, I thought he was fine here, and then all I can say is when Lana comes out, the world stops. World stops. I mean, this baby girl, I mean, has definitely taken the world by storm here. No question about it. I mean, when this girl speaks, we listen. That's all there is to say. I mean, 5-star beauty. There is really nothing left to say about that. I mean, she's 5 stars. Rusev's matches up until this point have been, with the exception of maybe one, have all been absolute duds. And the Kofi match from last week I thought was definitely his best yet. But now Big E coming down and getting some, so it probably is leading to a Rusev and Big E match at Payback. And if that's the case, that could be a sleeper fight of the night waiting to happen right there because of the body of work. I mean, Big E, former Intercontinental Champion, had a nice run with it, so we'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, this could be one of the better big man matches we've seen in a while. So yeah, really nothing left for me to say here except fine segment for what it was. Fourth best segment of the night because of those other three that was so good. So with that said, Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, all I could say is, I mean, it was good to see Hacksaw Jim Duggan back. Of course, I'll say it right here. I've been watching Legends House on the WWE Network, and Hacksaw's done really good along with the all the other legends that have been living in the Legends House. So basically, said he was glad to be back with the WWE Universe, and then of course Lana's music hit, and then she says that Duggan symbolizes America, but now the empire crumbles, and the U.S. is the laughing stock of the world. And that China's economy has passed the U.S., and that is why her man Alexander Rusev is proud to represent Russia and their leader Vladimir Putin. And then Duggan basically starts a U.S. chant, and Lana says he proves America's inferiority. Lana introduces Alexander Rusev, and then Lana tells Duggan that she will give him one chance to beg for mercy. I mean, do you really think Hacksaw Jim Duggan's basically going to beg for mercy to anybody? No. And then Duggan basically tries to use the 2x4. Rusev steals it from him and breaks it right across his knee. I mean, that's basically pure power right there. And Lana basically said that was his only chance, and basically says, Rusev, crush. And it basically wasn't looking good for Duggan, and then Big E runs out to make the save, and They basically brawled, and then Rusev led Biggie with the leaping kick to the face, and Rusev basically stands tall. And yeah, and I basically agree. I mean, we could see a match between the two of them at the Payback pay-per-view, and that could be a possible sleeper fight of the night, if I'm going to be quite honest here. So, but we'll have to wait and see on that. So, this is a good segment. So, with that being said, let's just move on.
All right, and move on we shall to our next match. Let's get into it here. It was give me one moment. It was the intellectual savior of the masses, Damien Sandow, one-on-one with one half of the Road Brothers, Cody Rhodes, accompanied by Big Brother Goldust. Winner of the match in 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Hey, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes actually wins for a change. How great is that, huh? So, I believe I lead off on this one, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, this has been the theme. Another solid match here. I'm going to give this between 1.5 to 2 stars because I thought the action was solid for the most part. And, yeah, Cody Rhodes gets his first win. I mean, I honestly thought for a moment that Damien Sandow was actually going to go over and continue to tease tension between the Rhodes brothers and possibly plant the seeds for the Cody Rhodes heel turn, but that did not happen. Cody actually gets the win here. A little distraction by Goldust, and then, you know, one disaster kick later, a 1-2-3, and Cody actually wins. I mean, it's the first time he's won a match in quite a while, so good for the younger son of the plumber, Cody of Dusty Rhodes there. So nice win for him, and let the downfall of Damien Sandow continues. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I mean, ever since cashing in on John Cena, the brother can't buy himself a win. That's all I can say about that. Can't buy himself a win. So, Michael Bullock, I'm going to say it like this before I toss it up to you. You were right all along. He is a dud enhancement talent. He is officially now a dud enhancement talent. And I feel so bad for him. I mean, honestly, because he's a guy who came so close to winning the World Heavyweight Championship last October after Hell in a Cell against John Cena. Pushed him to his limits and then some. And then, ever since then, what's he done? Nothing. So, 1.5 to 2 stars, solid action here. Nice win for Cody. Glad to see him back in the win column. So, with that said, Bullock, why don't you go ahead and gloat about you being right about Mr. Sandow? You were right all along. We'll give it to you.
Yes, and I recently said, I mean, with the losing that Damien Sandow was meant on, I basically told the guys that he's basically a done enhancement talent, and lo and behold, I was correct on it. And to me, I mean, it's just basically a shame. I mean, I thought Damien Sandow, I mean, remember, he was this close to winning the World Heavyweight Championship when he cashed in Money in the Bank, and what's happened since then? Let's just say nothing. And yes, he is now officially a done enhancement talent, and that's just a shame when it comes to that. But I don't know if you guys noticed during the distraction by the distraction there, Cody Rhodes basically rakes the eyes, and then he basically hits the disaster kick on Damien Sandow for the win. And after the match, Goldust wasn't all impressed by his brother's tactics. So I don't know you, Florio, but after what I saw with the tactics there, maybe it's still leading to a possible breakup of the Rhodes brothers. And I mean, because remember, Goldust wasn't really impressed with the tactics of his brother Cody. So, I mean, if that's the case, I think there's still a possibility of a Rhodes breakup. But then again, that's just my opinion. So, but I do agree with the rating. It's about a 1.5 star match. Nice win for Cody Rhodes, but somehow Goldust wasn't impressed with the way he did it. So, that being said, Fletcher, it's yours.
Wait a minute. Time out. Anthony Florio, put your mic on. What was that motto that Jesse the Body Ventura always used to do back in the day? What was that thing that you said? You know it.
Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat.
Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. Cody Rhodes just pulled one. Hey, the referee never saw it. It's legal in a headlock. You know how that goes. If the ref doesn't see it, it's all good. It's all good in the hood, as we say. Well, He gets a big victory. Hey, he needed to break the losing streak. You win at all costs. And I know. A couple of super fans are gonna start. They're gonna come after me for this. I know it. I feel it. I'm gonna get ripped for this. But oh well. So it's a good victory for him. I agree. 1.5 stars. Let's move on.
Okay, and move on we shall to our to next up on this. It is, hang on a moment. Let me see. Okay, we talked about the Bray Wyatt stuff backstage, and now we move on to our main event of the evening. It was the Battle of the Powerhouses. It was the Shield, Roman Reigns versus Evolution's Animal Batista. Match ends in a no contest at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So, with that said, I believe Michael Bullock leads off on this one. So, Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, sorry about that, boys. I forgot to unmute the mic there. Yeah, I mean, all I can say is, yeah, I mean, well, basically, for I have to correct you on it. Roman Reigns wins the match via disqualification. It didn't end in a no contest there. So, yeah, I mean, to me, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I'm gonna basically give it an. You know what? I'm gonna probably give it just about 1 star because let's face it, it was short, and of course we get the usual cop out finish, but basically we get ourselves a nice little brawl basically at the end of the match with the Shield and Evolution, and then the Shield looks like they were gonna get the upper hand, and lo and behold, the $1 billion princess and Triple H's husband Stephanie McMahon basically sends down basically everyone to save Evolution. 3MB, Brodus Clay, Jack Swagger, Damian Sandow, Ryback, Curtis Axel, and a whole bunch of other guys, and they were basically them and the Evolution were basically beating down the Shield, and as Triple H gets the chair, things are looking good for Roman Reigns, and Reigns all of a sudden comes out with a spear, and then Rollins and Ambrose basically have chairs and basically clear the ring of everybody. And then Ambrose hits a bulldog driver onto a chair. I think it was Fandango there. And then Rollins hits the stomp on Curtis Axel on the chair, and then and then we get the famous thing from Roman Reigns, Superman punch to Heath Slater. And I basically get excited when we get that Superman punch there, and then basically Roman Reigns finishes up with a spear to Ryback, and then Ryback, well, let's just say once again, he falls victim to another Shield triple power bomb. So, I mean, basically it ends with the Shield standing tall as Evolution basically look on from the ramp. So this continues to build for that 6-man match with the Shield and Evolution at Payback. So yeah, so that being said, I'm just gonna say basically 1 star on the match because, like I said, we get a cop out finish, and of course, you know I mean, we don't like cop out finishes here at the Wrestling Forum. We have zero tolerance on it. So with that being said, what your thoughts?
This was a crazy fight and the whole 9 yards. Yes, we did get a pop out finish. I'm just gonna give it an NA. I'm just gonna call it an NA. I think this is, there's no rating for this. I mean, I guess that's as far as I'll go to say. NA. Loved everything about the fight, but just the finish just left a sour taste in the mouth. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, it's an NA for me as well. I absolutely agree with that. No question about it. Cop out finish to say the very least, and it's a damn shame too because I thought this had potential to be a damn good match, but unfortunately we didn't get anything on that. So yeah, but as has been customary over the last few weeks, an Evolution Shield brawl to end the event, to end the show, and ended what I thought was a solid but not overly spectacular edition of Monday Night Raw to say the very least. So Yeah, NA for me. Fletcher, you're absolutely right on that. I'm going to give you that. So, all right. So, before we wrap things up tonight, we have our overall review. Um, you know the routine on that. So, I believe it's 5 minutes. So, with that said, Michael Fletcher, lucky you, you get to lead off on it. So, your overall thoughts on the night show?
I thought it was a solid show. I thought it was a very good show. A lot. It was very wrestling heavy, more than promos, which is very good for us. Some of the matches were solid, for the most part, and and there wasn't really that many bad fights. It was maybe one or two bad fights the whole night, and I'll just be very brief and solid about it. I'm going to give it between 6 to 7 stars as my rating, and I got really nothing else to say. I thought it was a very good show. So, Anthony, I'll defer to you.
I didn't quite hear that. What did you say for the rating?
6 to 7.
Okay. Yep. All right. Um, yeah, I believe that that should be the correct rating here. Yeah, I think that's about right. I'm gonna say between 6 and 7 out of 10 myself. I mean, based on the body of work. I mean, the six-man tag with Cena and the Usos against the Wyatts, that was the fight of the night. Um, I mean, and all the other matches were good. All right, Fletch. Michael Fletcher has obviously left, so yeah, he does have some more commitments. So I'm very glad he was able to do the show tonight. No worries about the shout-outs. You're okay, Fletch. So yeah, I thought it was a very good show here tonight. I mean, not the greatest Raw of all time, but it was definitely a solid show to say the very least. 6 to 7 out of 10, I feel is the correct rating for it. Um, like I said, Cena and the Usos against the Wyatts, that was the fight of the night. Um, I mean, all the other matches were there. We had a surprisingly good Divas match with Paige and Alicia Fox. Solid matches with Sheamus and Ryback. Um, Fandango and Dolph Ziggler, that was a solid match. Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow, another solid match. The non-wrestling segments were all very good. Of course, the Daniel Bryan segment was the segment of the night. The Shield promo was very good. Evolution promo was very good. Stephanie McMahon promo very good. The segment with Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Lana, Rusev, and Big E, I thought that was a solid segment as well. But some of the other fights really weren't that good. Of course, RVD and Swagger, far and away the worst fight of the night. Right behind that was the Diva match, the second Diva fight with Natalia and Nikki Bella. That was a mess. And then the match with I don't know. I'll think about it. But there was another match I wanted to add to that worst fight of the night montage. But anyways, oh yeah, Sheamus and Curtis Axel. That's right. Um, those were the three worst fights of the night. No question about it. Adam Rose is still looking flat to me. I'm hoping they can get him better over, but I don't think that's going to work. So we'll see. The Daniel Bryan thing obviously was, the killer. No question about it. So yeah, hopefully he'll be okay, and hopefully he'll be ready to go in due time. I'm hopeful he'll be ready for payback, but seeing that we're this close to it, I mean, a couple weeks away, in about 19 days or so, um, we'll have to wait and see on that. But if he can't go for payback, what happens? We don't know. Maybe a tournament. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But that was the segment of the night, anyways. So already, I mean, officially for payback, Evolution against the Shield. We're hoping for a Chicago street fight. That's what we're hoping for. I really doubt they'll do another regular match, considering we just had one at Extreme Rules. So, and then of course, it's looking very obvious. It's going to be Bray Wyatt and John Cena, Last Man Standing. Which, if you've seen their Last Man Standing matches in the past, it's going to be friggin' epic. No question about it. That's got potential for a fight of the night candidate for sure. And of course, $1 million question: still, are we still going to have Daniel Bryan and Kane buried alive for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It depends on how his neck surgery goes on Thursday. And then, of course, Rusev and Big E looking like they're going to go at it. I think Sheamus will defend the United States Heavyweight Championship. Maybe Bad News Barrett defends the Intercontinental Heavyweight title. I don't know. Maybe a Uso tag title defense. So many possibilities, but so little time to figure it out. But next week, Monday Night Raw from London, England, the O2 Arena. Spoilers will be out beforehand, so we'll try to get those between us so we know what's going on beforehand. Probably going to do that anyway. So between 6 and 7 out of 10 for the Monday Night Raw rating tonight. I agree with Michael Fletcher 100%. So with that said, Michael Bullock, take us home on your overall thoughts.
All right, I'll say the same thing. Basically, excuse me, it was a 7 out of 10 for me. Of course, we like to say solid but unspectacular. If I'm gonna be quite honest here, so of course, getting through some of the good things, of course, was uh, basically, sorry about that. The opening segment with the Shield, um, and of course Evolution, and of course the segment with Evolution, and of course the segment with Daniel Bryan. Um, and of course the fight of the night being that six-man tag team match with the Wyatt family and the Usos and John Cena. Um, and of course some of the other matches being done enhancement matches. So, but of course the real sleeper fight of the night was being the Paige versus Alicia Fox. So yeah, so you pretty much touched on everything else. So 7 out of 10 for me. So with that being said, let's wrap this up for you.
Yes, we're gonna wrap it up with our shout outs. Michael Bullock, you start us off with your shout outs. I want to end it. Go ahead.
All right, special shout out to all of our tremendous viewers out there who continue to support our shows, whether it is the Wrestling Forum or Strictly Sports. It doesn't matter. We really appreciate it. We thank you for all your support and, of course, for watching us here tonight on YouTube.com. And of course, only the positive comments, no haters. You all know that by now. Shout outs to our super fans, Edie Woodson, Matt Ward, Jason Hicksonbaugh. We appreciate of course, they are the true definition of the word super fan. So, yes, and of course, shout outs to our friends for our high school days. First off, to, of course, Mike Fletcher, who had to basically bail out right away because he had to basically get to bed. Maybe he has to go into work early. Of course, to Derek Ferreira, who couldn't be with us. Of course, covering a lot of things when it comes to soccer. And of course, also to Tom Souza, an original member of our Brotherhood. And of course, also to the First Lady of the Wrestling Forum, Megan Silva. And of course, the First Lady of Strictly Sports, Kaiser Butler. And of course, I want to thank, of course, my guys here at the Wrestling Forum for their tremendous love and support for my girlfriend's grandmother, who basically, as I said, passed away last week. I did go to the funeral on Friday, and it was a really good ceremony. So she basically wants me to pass it out and say thanks to all of you guys for all the love and support you give it to her and the family, what they've been going through this past week. And yes, Anthony Florio, it is a yes, yes, yes. So I'm basically gonna save the rest of my shout outs for Friday night on Strictly Sports. So until then, this is Mike Bullock basically saying thank you everybody for listening tonight. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up 4-4 style. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. And until Friday night for an all-new edition of Strictly Sports, bye for now, everybody. So until then, Anthony, take us home, my brother.
Will do, Bullock. I wanted to send it home here. So, all right. Before I get into my shout outs, I of course want to let you know about our next Strictly Sports show. Of course, as you know, this past Friday night, at the last moment, Derek Ferreira decided not to do a Strictly Sports show on Friday night because of some wrestling things he needed to do, some New Japan Pro Wrestling event, and of course some of the Ring of Honor, I believe, was as well. So we didn't do a show on Friday night, but we will be back this Friday night, hopefully, for another special Football Friday edition of Strictly Sports. We're going to be doing a team-by-team recap of the NFL Draft. We're going to go team by team. That's how I believe he said we were going to do it. Not sure if we're going to have a power rankings. I mean, I know it would be Major League Baseball if that's the case, but, our schedule show ran so long, Derek decided to cancel out the power rankings, and I got a feeling this is probably going to be another long show, of course, talking about each team in the NFL Draft and how they did. So I wouldn't be surprised if we end up not doing a power rankings again either on that one, but, we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But for right now, it's an NFL Draft recap team by team. That's the plan for Strictly Sports on Friday night, so we hope you all tune in. So, with that said, let me get into my shout-outs for the evening. Of course, special shout-out to all of our tremendous fans and viewers out there who continue to make the Wrestling Forum and Strictly Sports, as ridiculously over as they are. We appreciate it as always. Of course, as Bullock said, only the love, only the positive comments, no haters. You know how we are about that. So we're just going to basically move on from that. Of course, our super fans, the epitome of the word super fans, indeed, Bullock. I agree with you 100%. Dee Dee Woodson, her husband Kevin, and family. Of course, Matt Ward, Jason Hicksonbaugh. Of course, Megan Silva, the First Lady of the Wrestling Forum. Kaiser Butler, the First Lady of Strictly Sports. I mean, Michael Fletcher was with us for our review, but had to get out. We didn't get to do his shout-outs, but that's okay. He probably didn't have much to say on that anyway. He usually never does. But anyways, and then, of course, a special shout out for me, a personal special shout out to Derek Ferreira for giving me the keys to the car tonight, for letting me sit in as a host for this show tonight. Appreciate that as always. He knows how much I enjoy doing that. So we'll see how he does on. We'll hopefully have him back for Friday night on Strictly Sports. I'm sure he'll be back for that. And like I said earlier, he will be back for the Wrestling Forum next week. And since he will be back, of course, we won't be on my YouTube channel. We'll be on his Blog Talk Radio. So we'll have to, we'll see how that goes. But for right now, special shout out to you, Derek. Special thanks for you giving me the keys to the car as always. And, hopefully we'll have you back Friday night for Strictly Sports. Looking forward to that as always. Of course, special shout out to the rest of our brotherhood. Of course, Tommy Souza, Eric Carrier, Jimmy Alden, Albert Anderson, Rob Parsons. They know who they are. So, and one other thing about Friday night, I've told Derek Ferreira and Michael Fletcher this. I'm letting Bullock know about this for the first time. I'm going to have a very special shout out here. A very special shout out to a new young lady friend I made on the Twitter. A beautiful young woman who works in the world of sports. She's worked as a social media host for Sunday Night Football on NBC, and I'll tell you more about her on Friday night. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to spoil it. So, but I'm going to have a very special shout out for this young lady, and I've had some chats with her on Twitter, some brief chats, and she said that I told her about 50 Sports, and she said I can't wait to listen. So she obviously will be checking out the show. So I cannot wait to have her watching. So I'm going to have a very special shout out for that young lady, to say the very least, and. So special, she's going to be my final shout-out of the night. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to save her for last. As they always say, save the best for last. So, all right, that's going to do it for me. So until Friday night at around 10 or 10:30 for our NFL Draft Recap edition of Strictly Sports Football Friday, it's ridiculously over Anthony Florio, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, and, of course, our Cerebral Viper Michael Fletcher, who left, and, of course, the Hardcore Python Derek Ferreira, who gave me the keys to the car tonight. So until Friday night for Strictly Sports, ridiculously over Anthony Florio saying, you know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up 14-4 style. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. And until Friday night for Strictly Sports, you've been watching the Wrestling Forum right here on the Tone 25 here on YouTube.com. Bye for now, my friends.